going on, guys? My name is Chris Holowchuk, and this is another session of Hollow Sessions. And today's topic is take a break before your body forces you to. This definitely relates to me lately. I've been going pretty hard with videos, pretty hard with my day job, hard with the fitness. So many things been putting extra effort into, and your body can take quite a bit of beating for a while, but there gets to a point where eventually you got to step back and let go from whatever you're doing. Just take a quick break or take a long break if you need it, but just detach from whatever you got going on and just take time to recharge. We're not robots. We require fuel. Even cars need gasoline, as well as boats, airplanes. They can't run forever, and neither can you. So it's good to be dedicated to a purpose, dedicated to your mission and going hard, but you got to take time for yourself. You can't be pleasing everybody else with whatever their demands are, and whatever demands you give yourself. You got to balance that time out, because you spread yourself out too thin, eventually you're going to come to a crash. This relates to me right now. I've got a situation where I was praying for a busy season to hit after a couple of months of just having no work and wondering what's going to happen. When am I going to make money? Am I going to lose my house? Am I going to max out on my credit cards? And then finally I got delivered a busy time, a busy period. I've been definitely taking advantage of that. However, it's now getting to a point where I've been putting a little too much in, and my body had been starting to show signs of a burnout. I'm waking up tired, and I've just been putting in long hour days with my job. I just needed time to take advantage of this busy season and put as much in as I can, but at the same time gotta tone it down a notch. And when I say your body will stop you if you don't stop yourself, small problems can manifest into big problems. Like, for example, I've injured my ankle mountain climbing in the Ozarks back in October, and I did get a brace. I went to orthopedic to get checked out, but I didn't do the one thing that they were asking me to do for it to heal, which is rest. It was a turbulent time in my life, and I didn't want to sit still. I didn't want to think about what was going on that I didn't want to think about. So I just want to keep moving. And because of that, I have a persistent injury that hasn't quite healed. I'm walking fine, but I can't quite run, and the pain definitely comes back, so I'm probably gonna have to get surgery. And luckily I'm just got promoted to full-time in my job, so I get some good health insurance and can go get that surgery taken care of. But at the same time, this wouldn't have happened if I just rested. I listened to my body, listen to God. When he says rest, you rest. I'm definitely one of those people that I can be hard-headed, and when I've got my mind set on something, I'm going to give it all I got. And for 70-80% of the time, that can be a good thing, but for that 20 to 30% can really hurt you hardcore. Anytime you feel your body slipping up and putting too much in, and you're waking up tired, you're not thinking straight, going, and you're thinking, your body's starting to feel some type of way, but you just want to keep going just a little more. It's good when you're playing a football game, but when you're living life, it should be treated more like a marathon, not like a sprint. And it's a real reminder to take breaks for yourself from time to time. Another example, when I was working in Knoxville last year, there came a point in time where I was putting way too much work into my job. I just woke up so tired, so burnt out, that one day I was leaving the gas station, and the guy in front of me was about to pull out, but he didn't. He stopped last minute, and I was not looking in that direction. I looked towards oncoming traffic, and I didn't see till the last minute that he'd stopped suddenly. And before I knew it, I bumped into him. Luckily, it wasn't really any real damage, and he was cool enough to just shake hands and walk away. But that could have been my job right there if it had been worse. And that was all from not pacing myself. And also, my company can sometimes demand a lot out of me. At the same time, I'm thankful for all they provide for me, but this also leads to the lesson You gotta maintain healthy boundaries with everybody in your life, not just with your spouse or your parents, but you know, your employer, your coworkers, your friends, even your kids time to time. You know, you can't be a good parent if you're going hard and don't have a little tiny bit of R&R. You know, like even like 30 minutes just to yourself. I know it's, you know, different circumstances for everybody, so not everybody has that luxury to, you know, get away, especially like the single moms. You know, they're putting in all sorts of time, you know, more than 24 hours, you know, taking care of the kids, working, you know, long hours with their jobs, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs to provide for their kids. So I know in that situation you can't always get, you know, free time for yourself, but you can, you know, schedule little times in between just to meditate, just to, you know, step away for a bit. And I think that's really beneficial if you're able to do that. You know, you don't want to run yourself to the ground and create an accident that's going to cause more problems than good. And yeah, it comes down to self-respect and loving yourself enough to be able to maintain those boundaries and, you know, tell somebody no if you need a break, and, you know, listen to your body and rest when you need to rest. You know, the task, the mission, it's not more important than yourself and your health. So always remember to take that time for yourself, even when you don't think you deserve it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found any value in it, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me get the message out to more and more people. And with that being said, my name is Chris Holacek, and Holla is hollering out.